T-34 is a Soviet medium tank introduced in 1940. Its 76.2mm gun was more powerful than its contemporaries, while its 60-degree sloped armor provided good protection against anti-tank weapons. The Christie suspension was copied from the design of American J. Walter Christie's M1928 tank, versions of which were sold turretless to the Red Army and documented as farm tractors after being rejected by the U.S. Army. The T-34 had a profound effect on the conflict on the Eastern Front during the Second World War and had a lasting impact on tank design. After the Germans encountered the tank in 1941 during Operation Barbarosa, German General Paul Ludwig Evwald von Kleist called it the finest tank in the world, and Heinz Guderian confirmed the T-34's vast superiority over German tanks. The T-34 was manufactured in the city of Kharkiv. The T-34 was the mainstay of the Soviet Red Army armored forces throughout the war. Its general specifications remained nearly unchanged until early 1944, when it received a firepower upgrade from the introduction of the greatly improved T-34-85 variant. Its production method was continuously refined and rationalized to meet the needs of the Eastern Front, making the T-34 quicker and cheaper to produce. The Soviets ultimately built over 80,000 T-34s of all variants, allowing steadily great numbers to be fielded despite the loss of tens of thousands in combat against the German Wehrmacht. Replacing many light and medium tanks in Red Army service, it was the most produced tank of the war, as well as the second most produced tank of all time. With 44,900 lost during the war, it also suffered the most tank losses ever. The T-34 variants were widely exported after World War II, and as recently as 2010, more than 130 are still in service. The USSR donated 2 combat-used Model 1941 T-34s to the United States for testing purposes in late 1942. The examinations performed at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds highlighted these early faults, which were in turn acknowledged in a 1942 Soviet report on the results of the testing. The suspension was tested a long time ago by the Americans and unconditionally rejected. On our tanks, as a result of the poor steel of the springs, it very quickly fatigues, and as a result, clearances is noticeably reduced. The deficiencies in our tracks from their viewpoint result from the lightness of their construction. They can easily be damaged by small caliber and mortar rounds. The pins are extremely poorly tempered and made of poor steel. As a result, they quickly wear and the tracks often break. Testing at Aberdeen also revealed that engines could grind to a halt from dust and sand ingestion, as the original air filter was almost totally ineffective and had an insufficient air inflow capacity, starving the combustion chambers of oxygen, lowering compression, and thereby restricting the engine from operating at full capacity. The testing at Aberdeen revealed other problems as well. The turret drive also suffered from poor reliability. The use of poorly machined, low-quality steel side friction clutches and the T-34 outdated and poorly manufactured transmission meant frequent mechanical failure occurred, and they created an inhuman harshness for the driver. A lack of properly installed and shielded radios, if they even existed at all, restricted their operational range under 16 kilometers. Judging by samples, Russians, when producing tanks, paid little attention to careful finishing and technology of small parts and components, which leads to the loss of the advantage that would otherwise accrue from what would, on the whole, are well-designed tanks. Despite the advantages of the use of diesel and the good conductors of the tanks, thick armor, good and reliable armaments, the successful design of the tracks, Russian tanks are significantly inferior to American tanks in their simplicity of driving, maneuverability, the strength of firing, speed, the reliability of mechanical construction, and the ease of keeping them running. The examinations performed at the Aberdeen Proving Ground revealed problems with the overall armor build quality, especially the plate joints and welds, as well as the use of soft steel combined with shallow surface tempering. Leak issues were noted. In a heavy rain, lots of water flows through cracks and crinks, which leads to the disabling of the electrical equipment and even the ammunition. Earlier models of the T-34, until the model 1942, had cast turrets whose armor was softer than that of the other parts of the tanks and offered poor resistance, even to 37mm aircraft shells. Early T-34s also suffered from poor quality welds, leading to inconsistency of shells which would not have penetrated the tank under normal circumstances to penetrate anyway. They also suffered from rush manufacturing, leading to inconsistent protection. Thank you for watching. Be sure to share this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel.